The pandemic has changed so much about what we can expect from healthcare. Now more than ever, we must make the future affordable, accessible, and equitable. I'm Jody Lesh. In a new podcast from Kaiser Permanente, we interview the thought leaders and care providers who are helping shape the future of not just healthcare, but fields like digital therapeutics and AI. We have a lot to learn from one another. Listen to Ahead in Health wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you know how many files your employees have uploaded, downloaded, emailed, airdropped, slacked, or shared via Google Drive today? A lot of that data has left your organization, and you don't even know it. Visit code42.com to learn how Insider prevents data exfiltration.
She used on him, and it works like magic, and I did some research on it as well. Pumpkin's good for all of us.
Ain't nothing wrong with stuff from nature. Yeah, buddy, nothing wrong with that at all. Well, good morning to all of you. You know, Law and Susan know something about the food. You know they know something about that. The good food. The food they eat to live. They don't live to eat. You understand? They're going to be 90 and fine. There it is. There it is. Good stuff. Well,
90 is great, but I'm going for 100.
Well, God bless you and Phil. I'm not sure if 100 is okay. Maybe, that 120. I don't know. You know, Phil going to be doing the walking around, jumping around. He's still going to be driving. He's still going to be driving. They're going to stop driving. He's still going to be driving. All right, everybody. Our morning meeting, I got a message, and I'm going to shift a little bit and onto this message. And
all right, now remember last week, last Tuesday we shifted. Okay.
This is Tuesday again. You sure right. There you go. Well, the message start. Well, first off, good morning. Let's do that. I'm not sure if I said that. Good morning and evening and afternoon to all our regions and continents and countries on the call. Well, good morning. Thank you, Steve, for always being here, and the whole India crew for always being here. Thank you as well. I am so great from DC Teja to Shaker to Satish to the other Satish to Mayuri. Thank you all for being here. Reese, I just got your message. I have no idea what it means, though. I tried to, you're going to have to tell me or resend another one. Resend another one, but I just saw that. But I got a message right before that I'm going to address. Deanna, I just sent you videos that Fox Soul asked me to do. The first video is the regular size. The second video was minimized, and I sent you a YouTube link as well. If you want to, all right, you can email that over while we do this call, or, well, it just depends. It's up to you. Could you touch on the idea of giving up something so the universe can give you what you want? That's the first part. Does that mean you put a timestamp on what you're giving up? Now, I don't know if y'all know this. IE and EG are two different things. EG is Latin for example. IE is Latin for instance. They're two different things. Sorry. Remember, I have writing degrees. They come out. I'm so sorry. They come out, all right? For instance.
It's very helpful, Antonio, to know that.
It really is, because you would get dinged on your paperwork. You go from an A+ to an A and be very upset. In my own case, I gave up the idea. Oh, am I supposed to read this out loud? Not yeah, okay. In my case, I gave up the idea. Well, you know what? Let's deal with the first part first. Golly. Could you touch on the idea of giving up something so the universe can give you what you want? All right. Remember that. I'm going to ask it again. Deanna, are you sending the stuff now or you want to send it right after the call? How about you do it right after the call?
Oh, okay, because I was in a process of.
I know. Do it right after the call because I have a feeling that, this questionnaire is going to intensify all our understandings.
Okay.
What else? And then, we're doing programming work today, right? Anything else?
If you check Line app, you have to podcast due. You also have the episodes in there as well, where they are going, and they are mid rolls.
All right, which ones to do?
The deal with Danny Brown and VP.
Right, but which advertisers go there?
Secret to Success is the deal with Danny Brown, and ExpressVPN is just for Red Circle.
Right, is deal with Danny Brown an actual ad?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's why I'm confused. All right. So type in the lineup for me. All right, but Secret to Success, Danny Brown, that's an ad. How many episodes am I posting today?
2.
1, 2.
2.
How many podcasts?
Just the Secret to Success.
All right, so 2 episodes on 1 podcast.
Yes, sir.
All right, and then put lineup Danny Brown as an ad, and what's the other ad?
The other ad is ExpressVPN.
All right, can you put that?
Yes, sir.
Plain English. There you go. All right, plain English. I appreciate you. You had that administration talk, my ear. I don't know what that means. I don't know what all that stuff means. It's too professional. It's too organized. Talk to me like a kid, a 1-year-old. You got to talk in short sentences. Move that. Sit down. Stop. I need that kind of talk, Jerry. Sometimes. Shh. Don't. No. I need all that. Good stuff. Now, back to this question. Since I just finished the bulk of the meeting, anything else we can do? Could you touch on the idea of giving up something so the universe can give you what you want? All right. Who has a thought here before I get started?
Can you repeat it for me one more time?
Yep, it looks like Phil has a thought. Could you touch on the idea of giving up something so the universe can give you what you want? Go ahead, Phil.
The universe doesn't like a vacuum.
Yep, you're right. You're right. Break it down for.
Well, if there's a vacuum, the universe wants to fill it. So when you create a vacuum in your existence, the universe wants to fill it.
So no just takers, huh? I can't just be taking. I can't be a vacuum. Universe wants to fill it. Okay, that is universal. That is solid. That is facts. Who else wants to say something?
Can you read it one more time?
I sure will. I read it as many times because the second and third part that's down here, that's why. Could you touch on the idea of giving up something so the universe can give you what you want?
I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I always go back to the story that I heard Steve Harvey tell about his mom and his new car. He was trying to get a new car, but every time, and he would always go into his mom every time he got paid, say, "Hey, mom, I just got paid today. I'm gonna get that new car." And she was like, "Okay, baby, but your old car is still in the driveway." And the whole point of the story was, you can't get anything new if you still have old, broken down, beat up stuff in the place that the new things are supposed to go. So in order for you to get what the universe has for you, you have to empty yourself. You always tell us you can't fill a full cup. Those are my thoughts.
That's the season we're in right now.
Oh, Susan, come on, break it down.
Well, we all have the opportunity right now because we're not out and about. We have a few extra hours in our day to start purging things. I mean, what we're in, we're trying to save our lives right now. You look around at things in your house, they mean absolutely nothing. Your family that you can't see. I was looking forward to, once I got through all this with my mom, and I'm almost there with everything, I was going to go see each of my kids and spend quality time after 7 years. And that's not happening. And that's hard. That was my thing. I was, getting to almost there. And I knew that by the end of this summer, I would, be able to spend quality time with each of my kids. That is not there right now. We talk and things like that, but it's not, we missed so many opportunities these last 7 years, but that's still my most important, valuable thing. And think why all of this has happened, but there is a reason, and people don't see it, especially in our country, who were just all spoiled, materialistic people. And we don't need anything. We need food and shelter and air conditioning. But all those other
South,
things
yeah.
are actually not important. So we need to clean out the clutter, clear the clutter from our minds, from our homes, from our environment, whether it's people or things or thoughts or ways of living, and put in all the good things that we can, which people on this call, that's what we do every single day. We are improving, we're getting better, and we're moving towards something. There is something. The universe has given us something. We have it right here. And to continue to grow and to follow this path. I think if each of us didn't have this right now, we wouldn't be as good as we are.
Amen. Thank you, Susan. Powerful, 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 powerful. Let me highlight a few of the many quotables Susan had in there. And then I'm going to read this again and go to Sugar. Okay, here we go.
Oh, I'm sorry, Antonio, and Phil unmuted as well.
Oh, Phil unmuted. Okay, good. Well, then I'll go to Phil, then back to Sugar. Then to Sugar. Susan said, this is where we at. The whole question is where we are. And she said season, which means that it will end. Okay, that's implied. And what was underlined in her entire talk was prosperity should never stop. It looks differently, or we should adjust, but the prosperity should keep flowing, even if you had plans to do something for 7 years, to catch up 7 years. The universe says, hey, here's a different way to do that. Go ahead, Phil.
Well, you have to give up feeling sorry for yourself.
Oh,
you have to give up what?
You cut deep. you preach it.
You have to give up. You have to give up being a victim. You have to give up blaming everybody else in your life for what's going on in your life and take responsibility and say, I am that I'm here because of me, and now what am I going to do with it?
He took no
I like
prisoners, huh?
You feel my pain. I can't feel sorry for myself. I have to call my bestie in Ohio for that.
Yeah.
That one friend that you can.
That you can vent to, because Phil ain't gonna let
Yeah.
you do it. I know that's right. Phil is 1,000% correct, though. Wow. That goes that we now always say anything you can account for, you can control. So one of the things you got to give up is being a victim, feeling sorry for yourself. Let me jump to Law real quick because I know he's at work. Law, by the way, well, if the questioner wants me to reveal who asked this question, I'll go ahead. But Law, did you want to? You're at work. I saw you unmute your mic real quick.
Yeah, no, I am. We're counting stuff. I'm good.
Oh, okay. So you're good. All right. Good
I'm
stuff.
okay. What I was going to say is to go back to what Phil was saying, and that was the same thing that I used to tell people all the time, or other children growing up in foster care, because they would always feel sorry for us. No, don't feel sorry for me. It's just a part of the process. I will be okay, and I'm working through it, and that's what I always told people.
Well, that's why you made it out of foster care prosperously. Right? Yeah, that attitude. All right, Sugar, let me set you up. I ain't setting you up. I'm going to repeat what Phil said. Well, I ain't going to repeat what Phil said. I'm just going to highlight the throat punch he gave all of us. You know, it was God's throat punch, too. Hey, boom, right in your throat. Stop being a victim. Facts. Facts. One of the things, really, if we don't remember nothing else, if we just remember what Phil said, I think you would have a great life. Like if you, right? Because you don't need to be smart. You don't need to know everything. You not being a victim, you not blaming yourself, well, not blaming yourself too, but you blaming yourself for everything so you can take responsibility for your own actions. That literally puts you in harmony with most of the laws of this universe, if not all. That one step, it really does take care of everything. It really does. Because you can't be spoiled, as Susan said, and account for your own actions. You can't be spoiled. Victims are spoiled, at least the spoiled victims, the ones that won't work together for the coronavirus in the Western world. Let me not even blame the Western world, in America, because right now we tripping. Right now we tripping. Sugar, come on in here. I saw you unmute your mic. The entitled.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I can't speak for everybody, but I can speak for myself and what I've had to go through and do just since being connected with you and this team. Procrastination. You've got to give procrastination up. You have to give up some people, places, and things. You have to give up your old way of thinking. You have to let go of doubt. You have to sow a seed to meet your need, but you also have to sow seeds of your time. The books that you've suggested us to get and read, I've bought, and I've been to so many other conferences and other groups, but you break it down to where it's reality. You go and you spend, $10,000, but none of that stuff that they were teaching was real reality. I couldn't grasp hold of it. Here it's broken down and I can grasp hold and I can see these things happening because it's happening with all of us, not just a few of us, but we're all growing. And when Phil said, Phil said you've got to give up the victim mentality, the victim mentality of being too old, the victim mentality of being too fat, the victim mentality, well, this is the way my life is and this is the way it's going to be. And I call all of that into it. I know Phil got some words for it, but you got to give up that poverty mindset if you want to go over to the other side. And that's all.
Yeah, they clapping for you. Ooh-wee. All right.
I sense a rocket power coming on. Thank you very much, Mama Sugar. Okay, you done put the blue on it again.
I'm surprised Grace say topic. Yeah, buddy. Go ahead, Jerry. Jump. Oh, hold on. Let me repeat the question for those. The question is, could you touch on the idea, or the first part of the question, could you touch on the idea of giving up something so the universe can give you what you want? Okay, go ahead, Jerry.
The only thing I was going to say is just be careful and don't let that vacuum be filled by the victim mentality of the virus.
Can
I
I
had
tell you?
to.
Yeah, because you feel to make me be honest here. Can I tell you what I said? What Susan said was, I say this in my head all the time, and I said it's two things. So I'm reading a book. I was reading a couple of books about China, America. You know, the contrast, the war, the goods to bads. And by war I mean trade war. You know, it's different wars. And the whole time I'm looking at, all books have biases because that's their argument, and every argument has a bias. You can't make an argument without a bias. Okay, this is just fundamental of an argument. And obviously, this is a white man writing this book. I mean, he's complaining about China and doing this stuff. And the whole time in my head, I got two minds going on. I got the one, okay, this is valuable information, good. And the second one I've got going on, well, I'm black. That ain't got nothing to do with us. I keep saying it over and over in my whole head every time, because the whole book is, we're going to lose to China. 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 We're going to lose to China, right? Oh my God, if we don't stop, we've been losing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, don't get that twisted. You ain't even got to like what I'm saying. We've been losers. As a matter of fact, if you want to take it from an epigenetics, which is that the trauma from one generation is scientifically passed down to the next generation. This is why baby boomers have more body fat than other generations, because your parents grew up in the Great Depression. And so from an epigenetic standpoint, their bodies said it's rough out here, store fat. Period. And if you look at all the old movies, the sex symbol was a pretty, not fat guy, but it wasn't the chiseled muscles, right? It was the hair on the chest, not and then the generation after, then you get your whole Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's Sylvester Stallone generation there. But you get what I'm saying. We, since 1500, been passing down trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma. If you go into the black neighborhood, we don't do public displays of affection, because we just don't do it. It's in our culture. Because as slaves, if you were to do public displays of affection, then you would be separated from your wife or your husband. And I don't mean like to the other side of the room, to the other side of the world, or the other side of the 13 colonies. You understand what I'm saying? And it's just been passed down, passed down, passed down. So when I read the book, I'm like, I got two things going on. I'm like, yeah, that's accurate. Yeah. But that's accurate for y'all. That is not accurate for black people. It's not. Because let's just say China takes over. Let's just say Russia takes over. It's still gonna have us black in America or whatever country that's going. It changes nothing for us. That's a bold. That ain't bold. That's facts, right? Easy for me to hear and say. Probably hard to hear, and probably sounds victim to if you're not black. I'm just telling you what the reality is, right? We've been losing. So when Susan said spoil, the first thing I said in my head, that ain't got nothing to do with us. We ain't out there. That's the first thing I said in my head. we ain't out there tripping like that, because when you think of America, you do not think of black people. When people are mad at America, they are not mad at black people. It's just not. It's just not. It's just not. So I'm always going back and forth, Jerry, with these two minds of trying to harmonize which one should it be. Because the only people mad at us, the people that's trying to give me a job. Everybody else is not mad at me. Okay, it's just what it is. What it is. Go ahead, Deanna.
I'm listening to what Susan said, Phil said, Jerry has said, Dr. Trask has said, and something that you have taught and said on several occasions. And then it's something that I believe Phil pointed out when COVID first started and we were all on home or home. We were all told to stay home. He
We
said
should
that
still be on it.
yeah,
Keep
we
going.
really should. He said that the Earth itself started rotating back on its axis. The smog and pollution in cities literally cleared up. And it's something you always said, the universe is correcting itself. But if you pay attention, you always also tell us we are all one. And if we are all one, that means we're also all one with the universe. If the universe is correcting itself, what do you think it's doing to us?
Well, facts. And there is no separation between the correction of
Exactly.
the universe in itself and us, because the universe exists for us and we exist for it, and we are it, and it is us. There is no separation. So when I keep telling y'all the universe is correcting itself, I also mean that's happening to us. There is a great power shift happening.
And that's exactly what I was getting to. So universally, every single one of us, in some shape, form, or fashion, desired a moment where we were all at home with family, not understanding that that same desire also requires us to do what Susan and Phil and Jerry said. You can't be a victim, because that's part of the problem. One of the problems with the universe is we're victims. We are entitled. And because we feel entitled, we destroy everything because we're entitled to that. And then on top of that, if you paid attention to like the news articles and everything, you were hearing how divorce rates were higher, domestic violence was higher. That's because we all used our jobs to get away from the true problem, which was us. But universally, we all wanted to fix the problem. So universally, we were put in a position to where we can understand you are the problem. So here is your opportunity to fix that problem. And that goes along with what Dr. Sugar said. She realized that there's some places, some things, and some people she had to let go. Universally, we all wanted to know, why is my life like this? What do I need to do to fix this? So universally, we were told, stay home so you can find out that you're the problem. And you put yourself in a position to cause consistent problems in your life from sun up to sundown, from the moment you close your eyes to the moment you wake up. We are all so connected to where we all wanted the same thing at the same time, to where the universe was like, finally, y'all actually listening to me. So since all y'all want to listen collectively, here, I'm going to fix it all collectively. Here you go. But because we never made room for the understanding and the fixing, because we stayed full even at home, even in the midst of us wanting change, we still stayed full. We didn't empty ourselves. We're now seeing the repercussions of not emptying. We're now seeing the repercussions of states and countries opening up when they shouldn't. We're not seeing the repercussions of the numbers rising and people dying even more because we still did not listen. And the universe keeps saying, y'all are not listening. You wanted correction here. You wanted change here. You wanted to fix the world here. You got to start with you. And when you start with you, it starts with your household and then it branches out. So universally, it's the universe answered every last one of our prayers, every last one of our morning mantras, our everything we did while we were meditating, every time we went to yoga, the energy we put out there, like everything we wanted, we were given, but we're still too entitled to even receive it and clean out the houses and make space for what the universe has given us.
My.
I did my Bible study this morning, and it's all about heaven and the whole system of the way it's all going to happen. And then, like there'll be no sea, there'll be lakes, but the sea we have now, there's salt in that to keep it preserved. We won't need any of that, but there'll be fresh waters. And so the final thing after all said and done is on Earth right now, there's a paradigm shift. It'll we really have, when we think of all the tree huggers and all the people that are care for the earth, and people are like, well, what's the big deal? We're, it's all going to be new heaven and earth, but actually they're taking the earth we have and making it new again. So we should be caring for the earth. It's going to be refreshed, made new, refreshed. Don't stop living in the world. It's a system of the world. One moment of time, and he will fix everything. So we should be caring for the earth itself, not the government and all those things, but caring for our earth.
Well, we do got to live here. And that kind of makes some good sense. You don't tear up your house and then say, house bless me. All right, so I got two hands up, Jerron and Reggie. Let me double back. Deanna was bringing up, I tell the office all the time, since about 2014, Jerry, I start saying this because I was recognizing some things. I was trying to reconcile a few schools of thoughts. Mayan calendar, law of one, the anybody who understands ages, the 28,000 years, it just depends. I don't want to get too weird on a phone call. I was trying to reconcile the zodiacs, the ages. Anyway, you have to know. And I was like, okay, well, so we're in a new age. What does that mean? Because I can't see anything. Okay, Carol, she's weird. What does that mean? I can't see anything. And I stopped looking at the big stuff, and I start looking at the little stuff. Actually, I didn't even try to stop looking. It finally just dawned on me 2 years later. Oh, there's a power shift going on. There is the universe is correcting itself. But most of the time when I say that, I mean us. I mean the systems, the social constructs we put in place. I mean the powers of privilege and supremacy. It's a bunch of stuff going on that is correcting itself. And what you see is the pushback of that. You see that. All you got to do is just listen when people march. They'll tell you why they're really marching if you listen. They'll tell you. They'll tell you why. Because groupthink is a hell of a drug. All right? They'll tell you why they'll march. And I'll let y'all figure that out on your own. But nevertheless, so that's something I will bring up there. Now let's go to Jerron first because I saw him driving. Reggie, then Carol.
Thank you so much, Antonio.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to say something about the question too earlier about sacrificing, and so many people have so many great points with it. In sacrificing things, you can't just want change. You have to want to adapt to change because everyone wants change. Everyone, whether if they want to get on drugs, or if they want to get their license, or if they want to get a license in any type of field that they're in, of driving, or if you want to become a better reader or a better entrepreneur. Everyone wants change, but are you willing to adapt to change? And that takes a discipline, that takes a strength, that takes a courage that we all are working with. You see Satish and other people who are like waking up early in the morning to be on these phone calls, like that's strength, that's the willingness to learn. It's more than just talking it, it's more than just saying it. You got to be about action, and to be about action, you can't. We was making the excuses. A lot of people, along with Antonio, we was making the excuses, like people in America make the excuses of saying, like, you know, it's hard, or like we think like sometimes we're spoiled sometimes. And the reason why that is because we always talk about us. We're so narcissistic. We always talk about us. We always try to put us first instead of putting God first and actually helping people first. So when you do that, that's when you actually can bring change, because the change isn't just for yourself. Change is for the other people around you, to impact people. So when you put you first, you're automatically going to lose to someone who's putting their mom first to help them get out the hood. You're automatically going to lose to someone who's putting God first, that's going to help change their life. You automatically going to lose first to someone who's trying to help, whose father is in the hospital and they got to help out with their medical bills, and they're going to do whatever it takes to help them out. You know, it's just so many things that comes with it when you're doing something more than yourself. So, and this is going to be separate with the spoiledness, because what the media done earlier this year, everyone wants to be first. You know, the media tried to be first with Kobe Bryant. Like, it's a shame because they family didn't even get a chance to like hear about the news of like Kobe Bryant and her daughter. You just heard in the headlines that Kobe Bryant died first. Like, Kobe Bryant is dead. That's all you heard. Like, they family didn't even get a chance to hear the news first, which is messed up that we live in like a world like this. Where world, it's not even the world's fault, because the world is for us. Like we said, it's just the people in the world that mess up the world and mess up things with just other issues and racism and different global problems that's happening right now. But yeah, and
The wisdom on you is superb, sir. Keep going.
thank you, thank you. And I, I'm learning. I'm just doing my best to really just learn, and I know I'm no better than the next man. So people who are older than me, I just take it in and just with the energy. That's what we got to do.
No doubt.
We would really be dominant if young people take the wisdom of older people, and older people give that wisdom and not putting young people down a lot of times too. Like how you're uplifting me, Antonio, and a lot of people in here. If a lot of more older people do that, we would get somewhere in life.
Yeah, that's a problem you're going to face in the black culture a lot, for sure. For sure, you're going to face. They're clapping for you, Jerron, and you deserve it too, brother. You deserve it. It's in all culture, but without a doubt, you're going to face it in the black culture, because we don't have anything. We don't control anything. Well, therefore, we got to fight over something. You got to fight over something, Jerry. We ain't got nothing much. You got to fight over something. In fact, I say if all of y'all was black, y'all not though. But if all of y'all was, so I'm gonna make all y'all black real quick so I can tell you what I would tell you to a room full of black folk. I would tell a room full of black folk, all we got is our worship. We don't own nothing else. You should have saw somebody's lips. That's a fact. That's all we got. All we own is our worship. Okay, and all we own is our worship. That's why we fight over it so much. Young folk, y'all worshiping wrong, right? That's why you fight over it. So you're always going to see that, Jerron. You're going to see a lot of people fighting you because you're young, and then when you get old, if you don't capture it, then you're going to fight the young folk, because change, we don't like change when change affects our comfort, right? And the way we've got prosperity, when something changes the way we get our prosperity, we don't like that. We don't like that. So thank you,
That's
brother.
all you need is your worship.
I ain't got a problem with that, because I don't have a problem with that at all. I understand my people, and I also understand how I vibrate. Don't. You know what I'm saying? Because I got out of it. I have a responsibility to my people. Now let me back up, because Deanna, you said something that really is really going to be my answer. You kept talking about let go, let go, let go. So I'll blow your mind right there. And then Phil just said all you need is your worship, which is pretty much in alignment with if you just don't be a victim, then you're in a state of constant worship in the first place. You're always grateful. You're always in this worship atmosphere. And then Jerron was talking about the division of, right? The division of. But our system is designed that way. Right? We have race. We say you're of this race. We like race means one of y'all. No, actually, excuse me. All of y'all got to lose except for one. It's what race means. Is that not? Is that? If I say let's go race, am I saying let's all get first place trophies? No, I'm saying one of us, the strong shall survive, is gonna win, and the rest of y'all is gonna be losers. But I'm gonna give trophies to the two losers, and the rest of y'all, yeah, whatever. Work harder next year. It's basically our system is designed off the idea of race. So as long as we see race, and as long as we operate in race, you understand what I'm saying? We're saying somebody got to win. The mere fact that a lot of countries, if you're a citizen, that's what you are. In America, if you're white, you're American. Anything else is hyphenated. Just what it is. Just what it is, right? And that implies division. It implies it's our system. Reggie, let me hear it.
First and foremost, thank you everybody for the breakfast that y'all gave me. I appreciate it. It was very satisfying.
Yes, sir.
Good, straight to the point. All the minerals and everything that I need to be satisfied. But while I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling, first and foremost, I want to tear down the walls of religion and being spiritual. I'm going to tear down the walls of the universe. Let me tell y'all something. Once you accept it, whatever you accepted, when you accepted it, and you believed at that point that you accepted it and you know why and you accepted it, you already won. That's why you here now, where you at right now. All of everything that all of us encountered yesterday, the day before yesterday, today, and tomorrow is the reason why you're here now. Because the more that they pour on, the more that it is poured on, the more that you still have to go through this thickness, the more that you got to fight through this darkness, is giving you your answer. I've heard the universe is reforming you, is transforming you. But if you know anything about whatever you believe in, because everybody believes in something. I don't care what it is, you believe in something. And whatever you believe in had the same guidelines. I don't care what platform, it had the same guidelines. You got to suffer. You know you got to suffer. Shut up and take it. And then when you finish taking it and you understand that you got to take it and you take it with a smile, guess where you end up? Right on the phone where you are, saying what we saying to each other now. Now, that's beautiful to me. I speak when the universe tells me to speak. And when I hear universe speaking, I cannot no longer be quiet anymore and sit and watch in the background and don't say nothing. Instead of eating up all that good food that I be eating up every morning that I be on a phone call, any chance that I be on a phone call, I swallow and I digest, and it does well to my body because it made me 6'6" in the physical stature. It made me 315 in the muscle category with a little bitty 2% body fat. You know, it made me this way, but you know what? It's the going through everything that was thrown at me, and that was supposed to look. Let me tell y'all something. That was supposed to be thrown at you. By the way, oh, I can't believe this is happening to me. That was supposed to be thrown at you. Okay, now when you know it got to be thrown at you. When you know that it's going to be thrown at you and you already know that you won, like already at this point, period, and you'll feel a whole lot better. You wouldn't have to worry about what China doing. You wouldn't have to worry about why they got us putting on these masks. You ain't got to worry about none of that. You just sit here and continue to do what y'all been doing. Keep doing what you're doing, because we all know that we crossing that finish line. Y'all already crossed it. When you accepted it at your lowest point, you already crossed the finish line. Let me say it again, Tony. Tony, let me say, aha. Once you already suffered and you know that you got to suffer and you accepted it with a smile, and when that sink gets thrown at you, you get hit and that's the best you can do. You've already crossed that finish line. Not because of your ego, not because I know this is it. No, man. Because before you accepted it and you got to the point of acceptance, you already won because it was already defeated before the game even started. So now today, some of us looking at, okay, well, you know what? Come on with the other trial and tribulation. You know, I want more of them. Call me crazy. That's why I'm with Antonio. I want more of that stuff that make you just, I like that stuff because I know it builds something. And when it builds something, I know that I already won. So you mean to tell me you building something that's already won, that already crossed the finish line, not because it's cocky, not because, no, I have understanding. And the more we sit on this phone, the more we get understanding. I'm going to press mute now, okay? I'm going to just press mute. Because I'm having a conversation with my father. That's what I'm doing. Y'all think I'm talking to y'all, but I'm having a conversation. This is one of them conversations when you say, thank you for that sink. Thank you for that night that I was out doing something I had no business doing. Because now I'm at the point to where, you know what, I better not do that again. Because I might not be able to do what I'm doing right now. And that's saying, please forgive me. Hey.
You and me both.
Hey.
You play too much.
Come on now. Yeah, I don't say much, but when I do, it's
yes,
Dos Equis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah. I couldn't help but notice how the energy that you're speaking with is the same energy that Susan was saying. This is just what it is. Right? This is just what it is. And fantastic. I won't say much there. I'm gonna get Carol. I'll let you be the last person. Then I'm gonna put a bow on it for law, so he can get some conclusion. And then I'm going to continue this in the next training. It is Tuesday, right? Yeah, come on. Yeah, it was Tuesday. So if y'all want to jump on, you two wonderful ladies, send them the information so they can jump on because you can't find it nowhere. Carol, come on, hit me with some of this knowledge.
So we're all here for a very specific reason. And Antonio, although you think that your purpose was to get 100 million, whatever it is, billions of dollars, the universe put you in this spot to help the universe continue and grow and move into the next millennium of time. The change has started in 2012 when the calendar actually stopped. So when the calendar stopped, that means there's a new wave coming in. And a lot of change came to the earth. There's chaos and all kind of confusion because it's time for change. And this happens thousands and thousands of years from now. It's going to happen again. And people are going to go through the same type of changing. You know, oh, what do we need to do? What's going on? Why are we here? Everybody's gone through pain, anguish for change so they can learn a lesson. It's all about lessons. Now, if you keep repeating your lesson, it's because you haven't learned it. Okay, so learn the lesson because you guys are here to teach, to bring up other people, to pull them up and wake up everybody. There's a lot of star seeds. Jerron, you're a star seed. That's what they're called. It's like you came from somewhere else to bring us wisdom, That's why you're so youthful and you have all this knowledge. You're here to bring more knowledge. And the older people that are here that have learned are here to help those new people that are coming in to change the world, because we're too old to really do a whole lot of changing. It's really teaching. So it's like taking the wisdom we have and giving it to those beautiful souls that are coming in to make that change happen. That's why we're all here. And there's this wonderful beauty in all of it. It's about learning the lesson. Okay, so we've gone through a lot and we say, oh, poor me, poor me. No, poor me, nothing. Strong me, because I learned. I know now. I know better. And this is for us to then take that knowledge and share it with others so that we can bring them up, so that we can pull them up. You were talking about people being heavy because of a certain way of thinking and all that. No, the government is putting all kind of stuff in the cows, and we're eating all this stuff and drinking all the milk that's making those cows fat. What do you think is going to happen? You are what you eat, and you are whatever you're eating eats. So we have to then take a look at what is it that we're consuming. What are we putting in this temple of ours? You know, when they talk about the temple, it's not the church outside, it's the church inside. God is within every one of us. He's already there. You don't got to reach out and say, oh, God, hear me. Go inside. Quiet yourself, because the answers are all within us. We are all part of the one. That's in us. We were born with the knowledge. We were born with all the gifts, because the resources and everything that we have that we reach out to is in us. Why do you think they talk about meditation? It's so you could quiet your mind, so you can hear all the answers, so you can hear the universe talking, God talking to you. You don't quiet your mind so that you know, well, maybe some kind of insight is coming to us. It's in us. The learning is in us. The experiences that we had are in us now. We've known them for decades because we've experienced them. Now it's time to teach others to just wake up. We're all here to wake up, and we're here to support each other. And that's why this bond is here. Your plight, Antonio, is way bigger than you think. It's not about the money. It's not about becoming president. It's not about, I'm going to do this because that's all I need. God put you and gave you some special gifts, and your life was really hard. And the turmoil that you went through was so that you can now teach, because you understand it. And although you say, I'm not empathetic and all that stuff, you've got so much stuff inside you that you just don't want to show. That it's amazing. That's why you know people so quickly. That's why you can reach out and you understand how to lift people, because you're here and you're a powerhouse, and you've brought all of us together for a very special reason. And everybody, all of us that are here, need to embrace that and take what we know, take the gifts that we have and share them. It's not about competition or challenge or any of that. It's about what do we know and how can we help each other build more of that? How can we support each other during this time and bring other people in the fold and help them and learn and build that community that we need, so that we can then move now, because the calendar has changed. And now we have to take responsibility. It's not about being a victim. It's about taking our power back, because we are so strong, because we were victims. Now it's changing. Now the scene is no more the play. You know how you have a play and it's like, what part do I want to play in this play? Well, now, guys, it's time to take that strength back and be strong. And let's be the leaders in the play and bring other people in and show them who they are and their power and their gifts and their beauty, because we're all beautiful. And stop eating the junk that's out there that has hormones that's making you fat. Start looking at what you're eating. Start checking all those things out and start taking care of your temple, you know, because you can't be full if you're not full completely, mind, body, and soul. That's all I got to say.
Oh, you
Many
said too
blessings to all
much.
of you, and I
You
love
gotta
all
stop
of you.
cutting
It's
your
all
mic
part
up.
of me.
This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. In the last days, I will pour out my spirit among all men. Young men shall dream dreams. Old men shall see visions. Your sons and daughters shall prophesy.
That's in there
There
twice,
you go.
actually. That's in there twice. That's in there twice. That's in there Joel and X. That's in there twice. Yes, yes, yes. Carol, I gotta stop letting you cut your mic on. You be revealing too much. You would be very glad to know privately. I I don't care anything about money. Privately, they all know my only purpose, at least as I perceive it to be, is to raise the collective consciousness of this world. So you'll be very proud. I knew it, because that's everything you just said. That's everything you just
Not
said.
so private, because I felt it.
Your psychic self. All right, got 5 minutes left. Law, if you there, give me a sign or something. If not, I'll text it to you. But you told me I had time, so I want everybody else to talk. And we're gonna pick back this up. I saw Deanna put it in the chat. Can you send it to Satish so Satish can send it to? I appreciate you. Say you already did it. I already got you. I sure appreciate you. Now, I posted out the 6 steps that's in Think and Grow Rich of how to. It's in there. It's in chat of how to think and act towards wealth. I won't comment on it. I would. Maybe I'll do it in the next session. And I'm sure it's going to come back up. But let me tell you, Law, Deanna, let me back up because Carol said something. I told someone yesterday in our circle, I said, well, you tripping because I say it wasn't yesterday, it was Sunday. I said, you tripping. I said, source you, Carol, I know you're going to appreciate this. I said, it's never guided you wrong. It loves you so much. You're not, you're just not in as much danger as you perceive yourself to be every day. You have to trust that everything that you're going through is the absolute nicest way to get you to change so you can go to the next level. It could have been worse, but it took the worst possible thing that can happen to you, which is also the nicest possible thing that it can give to you. You got to chill out. You have to. So my word to all of you before I tell you what's up, I'll drop this and then I'll bring it on in the next one. My word to all of you is simple. You truly need to understand that wherever you are, that's where you're supposed to be. No matter how you feel about it. And until you learn what you're supposed to learn on that level of awareness, you will never ascend to the next.
You better hush.
This is,
okay?
It just is what it is.
I'm listening to Joel this morning, and when
he said the same thing. I told you prosperity got one voice.
He said, you can't be moved by what you see. You got to be moved by what you know.
Come on now. Come on. So I got plenty to say. I'm going to say it in a few minutes.
And the two keywords for Aquarius is I know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we came from the age of belief, which is Pisces, I believe. Jesus was the end of the age of Aries. He was the beginning of the age of Pisces. Now we're moving from Pisces to Aquarius.
I see all these weird people. So I was trying not to go there, but Kara brought it up. Phil brought it up. When I said ages, I saw both of them go, I know what you're talking about. Keep going. Keep going. Anywho, that's it for here. I got plenty to say. Joining in. So please join us in this next one. You can plan better. You can dominate. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you in a few minutes, and I'm looking forward to it. All right.
This podcast is brought to you by Progressive. Are you thinking more about how to tighten up your budget these days? Drivers who save by switching to Progressive save over $700 on average, and customers can qualify for an average of 6 discounts when they sign up. A little off your rate each month goes a long way. Get a quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed in 2020. Potential savings will vary. Discounts vary and are not available in all states and situations.